Hey guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. It's beer 30. Let's go take a walk, see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews. Hopefully this will be a treat. Don't get the chance to try many beers from Iceland. This is a beer, one of the beers that Leandro sent me from the beer mail package out in California. I have not seen any of these guys' beers here in Virginia, so being closer to Iceland here in Virginia than they are in California, I don't know how that works. So, Leandro, thanks for sending me this one. This is an Imperial Stout coming in at 11.5% ABV, so pretty good size Imperial Stout. I don't know what the distribution is. I don't have the IBUs listed on here either, guys. There's a lot of stuff written on the label. Reykjavik, Iceland. Imported by Vanberg and DeWolf, Cooperstown, New York. So being imported by a New York company, I would think that we could get it here, but not seen it. A dark aura of intense richness and haunting aroma with notes of licorice and coffee. This is the Garún Icelandic Stout NR.19. 11.5% alcohol by volume, guys. Product of Iceland. And it has here, same thing it has in the commercial notes here. Garún is named for the strong and brave heroine of one of Iceland's most popular folk tales, the Deacon of Dark River, Mirka, a tale of ghosts, undying love, and life triumphing over death, told against the backdrop of elements essential to Iceland's character: ice, snow, and flooding waters. Whirling dark and mysterious, the same elements that inspire this rich, intense, bold, and swirlingly varied Icelandic Stout. Not seeing anything from these guys here in Virginia. Like I said, they don't carry anything like this at the Kroger store. This may be available at one of the craft only beer stores, but don't get to those stores too often. With all the beers that are being sent to me by my wonderful subscribers, I haven't been up to those craft beer only stores to check out and see what they have. So once I get through all the beers that are sent me, I may have to go visit one of them stores. But with the wonderful subscribers that I have that keep sending me a lot of these beers for me to review and try that I've not had or can't get here in Virginia, it's a wonderful position to be in. And like one of my subscribers says, every time I get a beer mail, it's like Christmas here. I get to open up the beer and look at all the wonderful beers that these guys are sending me, and it's wonderful and it's appreciated, guys. So with that being said, let's get on with this one. Let's go over to the food pairings and see what the food pairings are for this beer. The food pairings, the cheeses are the buttery brie, Gouda, Havarti, and Swiss. And since it is a stout, it goes well with your chocolate dishes. And the meat for this is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glassware, it says pint, becker, non tumbler, snifter, oversized wine glass. I got the double glass here. And it says can be cellared for long periods under the proper conditions. But we're not going to cellar this one. I didn't see a date on it, but we'll look a little closer when I come back for the final chug and see if there's any kind of date on it. But for an Imperial Stout at 11.5%, this beer is going to keep for years and years and years. We'd like to see a year on the label or on the bottle when it was put in there, so we'll just know where our reference, when the beer was actually put in there. So, but it's not as critical on a low ABV beer or an IPA to have that information, but it's kind of kind of nice to have. So we'll leave it at that. All right. I don't think I've already read you the commercial description on this one, and it says the same thing that's written on the bottle. So without further ado and any further flapping of the gums, let's get the cap off. And it's got a nice cap, so this will end up on the green fridge downstairs. And speaking of the openers too, I've only got 3 left. There's a red one and a couple of black ones. If you need them, give me a shout. I'm getting ready to place an order for more shirts, so if you need a shirt, let me know. I'm going to have to reorder some more larges. I'm out of those, but I got a small and some mediums, and I ordered more 2Xs this time because a lot of the boys or guys that drink beer like me are into the larger size t-shirts. So still got plenty of 2Xs, but I'm out of the larges, and I'm going to be reordering here within the next couple of weeks. Let's go down the center on this one. Nice head for an 11.5%. Look at that. Got us about 2 fingers of head on the 11.5% alcohol beer. Very nice. Over into the light, there is none. It is pitch black. Very nice looking stout in the glass. Very tan head. A lot of small bubbles around the side, a little bit bigger bubbles in the middle. Let's get a nose on it. Chocolate, cocoa, licorice, maybe a hint of some dark fruit, coffee. The chocolate or cocoa and the licorice stands out more than anything else in the nose. Maybe just a hint of the 11.5%. Not much. It's not boozy at all. Well, let's give it a taste of what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Leandro. Thank you, brother. A little more alcohol in the taste, but it's not boozy. I mean, it's not overwhelmingly alcoholish or boozy, in my opinion. The chocolate, coffee, licorice, and a hint of dark fruit, plums, dates, raisins, figs. Very easy drinking for 11.5%. Not boozy at all. Let me hit it again. Nice caramel toffee cocoa smell. This would go very well with a big piece of chocolate cake or some brownies or something chocolatey like that. But this beer is right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. I'm sure it's going to change and get a little bit better as it warms up. These beers are really best served at between 55 and 60 degrees, or closer to room temperature than what it is now at 40 degrees. So let's let it warm up. Might fire up a cigar, and we'll come back and do the final chug on this one. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little bit left here. Been sipping on it here about 30 minutes. Big chocolatey licorice, caramel toffee, dark fruit notes on this beer now that it's warmed up. A little more alcohol now that it's warmed up to room temperature, but still not a boozy beer. Very enjoyable, very tasty beer. Oh, wonderful smell. I love smelling these beers, especially the stouts and the imperial stouts and stuff. It's big ABV, but it doesn't taste big ABV. Wow, final chug. That's delicious. That is freaking delicious. Not had anything from these guys before. Wow, that's delicious, guys. I told you I was going to look and see if it had any kind of dating on it. And I don't see anything written on the bottle as far as stamped on there. But it's not as critical, like I said, on something with 11.5% and being a stout. But I would like to have the year written on there, and I don't see it. This has lot number 12027 written on it. So you may be able to go to the website and figure out when this was actually produced. But like I said, it's not super critical. It's just just my OCD coming through and saying, give me a year or something on this kind of beer. So I would like to know exactly when it was done, and if it had like 012014, I mean, you could figure that out when it was actually put in a bottle. But being a lot number, you don't have any idea unless you go to their website. And when you're out shopping in the store, unless you got a smartphone with internet access, a lot of times, and a lot of times you can go to the website and it won't tell you. So that's why I don't bother going to the actual website looking for stuff like that. I kind of figure that that's information, as a consumer, they need to let us know without having to actually get on the internet and look that information up. They ought to tell us, this is a 2012 bottle, or 2013 or 2014 edition of the beer. So it is what it is, and like I said, not as critical on this type of beer, but just information that I'd like to know. So if I want to buy one of these, if it was available here, and put it in the fridge for a couple of years, or buy 2 or 3 or 4 of them, just to see how the beer changes over time. Unless you go to their website or some way to figure it out, or write on the bottle itself or on a piece of tape exactly when it was put in there, you don't have any idea. So it's just me, guys. It's just my OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. All right, for me, it's very, very tasty. Not quite to the 10, but it's definitely a 9. So it's definitely an A beer, guys. So I'm gonna give it the 9 out of 10. Let's see what everybody else thinks. We'll go over to Beer Advocate first. Beer Advocate says 94 in their outstanding range. It's pretty damn tasty. It's not blowing my hair back or my socks off, but there's a nice breeze in here, so it's getting pretty damn close. It's a very tasty beer, especially for a country as small as that is, and not to have a huge distribution, which I'm not sure of. I mean, it's imported to New York by that company that I told you about, and then from there, I don't know how far it goes out. Of course, the bigger markets, California, New York, Philadelphia, I'm sure they all get a sample of these kind of beers, but I've not seen this one. But I'm not going to the craft-only stores. I'm not saying it's not available here, but just not saying it's not carried by Kroger's or any of these other stores around here. So, and actually, the last beer store that I was in Roanoke, craft beer store, I didn't notice it in there either. So it is what it is. So I'm very appreciative for Leandro sending me this. It was pretty damn tasty, Leandro. Hope you got to sample a bottle of this too. So pretty damn tasty if you're into the stouts, imperial stouts. So over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says they say overall. All right, phone, shut up.
0062.
Smartphones. They start talking when you don't want them to, and when you want them to talk, they're mute. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 98 and 78 in the style. So I'm not going with what the 78 in the style. Why they would not think this fit the style? I think it fits the style pretty well for an imperial stout with the chocolatiness and licorice and the dark fruit. I think it fits the style pretty well. It's not overly boozy. There is some booziness to it, but it's not overly boozy for 11.5%. I mean, if you're drinking Miller Lite or Bud Light, I mean, this is 3 of those beers almost. So pretty damn tasty. I'm glad I got to try it. I'm going to leave it at that. It's pretty damn tasty. So if you're into the imperial stouts and you can get your hands on this, pick it up and give it a try. And if you've tried it already, let me know what you think of it. So I think it's definitely an A beer, guys. So if you can get your hands on it, let me know what you think of it. And if you've had it, let me know what you think of it. All right, guys, we're out of here. That's enough on this one. Let's go see what's in the fridge tomorrow. We keep searching. Maybe we'll get us a 10 beer. See you then.